Well met, friends. I am Archmage Milo Luckyleaf of the Riven Council, and today we are studying Friends. It is the only cantrip in the game that is guaranteed to make someone hate you when it is finished. The question every caster should be asking is not how to avoid that outcome, but how to aim it. Let us start with the mistake I see most often, because it shapes every bad decision players make with this spell. The hostility clause triggers whenever the spell ends, which is the part where the target wakes up and realizes they were charmed. Not only when the full minute runs out, whenever. Dropping concentration voluntarily counts. Losing it because an arrow clipped you counts. Swapping it out for another concentration spell counts. There is no early exit that sidesteps it. I have watched casters, mid-conversation, decide the interaction was going well enough and drop Friends to avoid the consequence. The target turned on them immediately. The slot was wasted, the negotiation was over, and the party spent the next 10 minutes explaining themselves to a very unhappy innkeeper. The spell does not reward caution, it rewards commitment. The second misconception is the one that cuts the spell's usefulness nearly in half before the caster even opens their mouth. Most people assume Friends is a persuasion cantrip. They reach for it when they want someone to like them, and they put it away when the conversation turns sharp. The spell text does not say persuasion. It says all charisma checks. That means deception. That means intimidation. That means performance. You can use Friends to more convincingly lie to the target, or to frighten them, or to sell them a story they would otherwise see through. A caster who understands that has 4 tools where most people think they have 1. There is one more clause worth understanding before we move to the uses, and it is the word typically in the hostility clause. The spell says the target typically becomes hostile. That word is doing real work. The nature of the hostility is calibrated to the creature and the context. A frightened prisoner who realizes they were charmed into talking may simply go silent and refuse further cooperation. A noble in a formal court may redirect their anger into a formal complaint rather than drawing steel. Combat is not guaranteed. The consequences are real, but they are not always immediate, and a clever caster accounts for that. Every social caster I have known treats the hostility clause as the spell's fatal flaw. I spent 2 years treating it the same way. Then I was in a city I had no business being in, wearing a face that was not mine, and I realized the clause does not say the target becomes hostile toward you. It says the target becomes hostile. The question is, who they think you are when that happens. Cast Friends while wearing a disguise, a different name and face and set of clothes, and when the spell expires, the anger belongs to whoever you were pretending to be. Shed the disguise before the minute is up, and you are simply another face in the crowd when the target starts looking for someone to be furious at. I learned this the hard way, though in my case the disguise was a borrowed hat and a great deal of confidence, and I will admit neither held up as long as I needed. A proper disguise, whether that is a disguise self, a hat of disguise, or even a convincing costume, will serve the purpose far more reliably than a halfling in a wide-brimmed hat. The mechanics are straightforward. You need the disguise in place before the conversation begins. You need to shed it before the spell ends, or at minimum, before the target gets a clear look at your real face in the aftermath. The 1-minute clock is your constraint, as it is with every Friends interaction, so the conversation has to be short and the exit has to be planned. This is not a tool for a leisurely audience with a merchant lord. It is a tool for a quick extraction of information from someone who would never have given it willingly. What makes this use worth understanding is that it reframes the entire hostility clause. The clause is not a punishment for using the spell. It is a consequence you can redirect. Once you accept that the bridge will burn, the only remaining question is who you want standing on the burning end when it does, and whether that person is actually you. Most of the time, with a little preparation, it does not have to be. The full notes on Friends are waiting for you at therivencouncil.com, including when to cast it, when to leave it alone, and the rest of the rulings worth knowing. If this has been useful, I would ask that you like the video and subscribe so the Council knows its work is reaching the right ears. Friends does not make you likable. It makes you dangerous in a conversation. Those are very different things, and knowing the difference is the whole lesson.